Good evening and a very warm welcome. You're watching an India Today special broadcast. Vote on Karnataka. There are just a few hours to go before voters go out to cast their votes in this big epic battlefield in Karnataka. The India Today data team has put together 7 crucial X factors, 7 variables that will decide who will win the battle for Karnataka. And over the next 1 hour, we will be decoding each of those factors with the sharpest political minds reporting on Karnataka. That's our top focus this evening.
Less than 24 hours to go. Before Karnataka votes. X factors hold the key. Will Lingayat vote split? Can Siddaramaiah secure a second term? Will BJP-JDS damage Congress? What can swing the votes? India Today decodes.
We want to kickstart this broadcast with breaking news coming in that the Election Commission has decided to defer till the 28th of May voting in the RR Nagar constituency of Bengaluru. Remember, this is where 9,700 voter ID cards were recovered. So counting will happen on the 30th, voting deferred. The Election Commission had earlier said that they will not be countermanding elections, which is what the BJP was demanding. Paulami Saha is tracking the story. She's joining us this evening. Paulami, why was this decision taken by the Election Commission? What's the rationale behind postponing this election?
Well, basically, as you know, both the Congress party and the BJP made representations before the Election Commission after the raid on that flat, specifically in the RR Nagar constituency in Jalahalli, Bengaluru. And several items were in fact retrieved and seized by the Election Commission from that flat. And 2 consignments, the order says, is what drew the Election Commission's attention to what was happening in the constituency. One was those various 9,500 above epic cards, which are voter ID cards, which were recovered, which prima facie the Commission has concluded are found to be genuine. They in fact conducted a background check. They went to at least 8 of those voter ID card holders' residences in a slum in Jalahalli, and what they were told by the voters is that their ID cards were taken away and said that they would be returned to them on the day of voting, and they will get water cans and cookers in return for their ballot, which was to be cast on May 12th. They also found consignments of T-shirts, over 5,000 T-shirts and half pants, which were found from the flat, and they had the photo and the name of the Congress candidate from the constituency, Muni Ratna, who's been named in the FIR as well as an accused as far as this case is concerned. The Election Commission found these to be extremely grave offences. They felt that the entire election process had been vitiated in the RR Nagar constituency, that big money was being used in order to induce voters. That is the conclusion they've reached. They also need to return genuine voter ID cards to all of those voters from whom their voter ID cards were taken. And they believe that the time for that was extremely short, within 24 hours after they've concluded. And between polling, they cannot make that happen. So now they've deferred the polling.
Thank you very much, Paulami, for joining us with that breaking update. So what we've done is worked with all our reporters on the ground in Karnataka, worked with our research team back home, and put together 7 X factors, 7 swing factors, which will decide and determine who wins the battle in Karnataka tomorrow. Joining us on this special broadcast, I want to begin by introducing first Rajdeep Sardesai, India's foremost political commentator, our national affairs editor Rahul Srivastav, and Sanjay Kumar from CSDS. They've been doing a tracking poll for Karnataka, and he has deep insights into what's happening in each region. So let me play out first X factor number 1. These are not sequenced in any particular order of priority, all of them equally crucial. Coming up on your screen, the first factor that could determine who will win Karnataka tomorrow. Remember, this battle is crucial, especially in South Karnataka, in the old Mysore belt. The first question is, will the talk of a BJP-JDS alliance lead to the Muslim voters of the JDS switching en masse to the Congress? Because if this happens, it is advantage Congress in the old Mysore belt, and if that happens, that gives the Congress a big lead in the entire state. Rajdeep Sardesai, in fact, is just coming from the old Mysore belt. He spent time with voters there. Do you see this happen, Rajdeep?
I don't think it will happen on the scale that the Congress had hoped. The Congress had obviously hoped that the JDS vote would sharply decline, particularly after the Prime Minister went to Karnataka and virtually indicated that Deva Gowda was a tall leader, and there was this message going out that there is a potential JDS-BJP alliance on the ground in the works. My sense is the JDS is doing better than perhaps initially we thought. It's holding on to its Vocaliga vote. Their challenge for the JDS is to ensure that they get the plus vote. Now, we get a sense in some constituencies the BJP is tacitly supporting the JDS, and especially in the last week, both through finances and even transferring some of their votes in constituencies where they know they can't defeat the Congress, they would rather transfer it to the JDS. But I think unless the JDS vote sharply declines, you will find virtually a status quo in old Mysore similar to 2013, where both these parties, Congress and the JDS, virtually shared the spoils 25-23. I don't see a major change coming.
Sanjay Kumar, your last poll finished on the 3rd of May. Are you seeing a decline in the support of the JDS and the Muslim voters of old Mysore, or are they holding firm?
See, Muslims are roughly 12-13% of the total voters of Karnataka.
Correct.
But the region which we are discussing, that's the region where Muslims are not in a sizable number. They are roughly 5 to 6% of the total voters. So we should not be giving too much importance to Muslim vote for JDS. So yes, if there is a sense that there is a tacit understanding of JDS with BJP, whatever Muslim votes they are likely to get will shift to Congress. But as far as our studies, surveys indicate, JDS is not getting the Muslim vote, and it's a very tiny proportion of Muslim vote in that area. So it's too much of a hype about Muslim vote going to JDS or going to Congress, at least in that region.
Interesting. Rahul Srivastava, how true is it that there is a BJP-JDS understanding on the ground, especially in pockets of old Mysore?
Rahul, the BJP wants JDS to do very well. It wants JDS to do very well because of one very single reason. The Congress has 34% vote share last time around, the BJP 32%. The Congress vote is spread all over the state, while the BJP is really restricted to two strong regions, North Karnataka and Coastal Karnataka. If the Congress loses out in one region which is a stronghold of JDS, that means the Congress's vote which is there in that region gets wasted. Means the Congress is short of numbers in other regions to beat the BJP. That's why it's very important. That's why somewhere very quietly, tacitly, the BJP is managing a what you call a nudge kind of political philosophy.
V. Raghav is on the ground in Karnataka.
Well.
What's your sense, V. Raghav? Is the JDS vote declining in the last lap, or is the JDS being able to hold firm while the Vocaligas continue to back them? Are they getting the plus vote?
I think they're getting a Vocaliga plus vote in the sense that compared to what they've got, you might see the kind of Vocaliga consolidation that you will see this time might have been unprecedented, because I think as a caste, the Vocaligas are consolidating behind the JDS, and the Congress is losing out even the little Vocaliga vote that it had, and this is from Congress leaders from the caste itself. But the second point is that I don't think the Muslim vote is insignificant in the old Mysore region, as Sanjay was pointing out. I understand that it's lesser than, let's say, in other pockets, but there are seats where the Muslim votes really matters, and closer to Mysore city in that region. Now, why does the JDS need that vote? And I believe that vote is consolidating behind the Congress quite strongly, and not just the Muslim vote, other caste votes, Dalit votes are consolidating behind the Congress at some level. And why that's important is because if you see the difference of percentage of votes between the Congress and JDS in the last couple of elections, it'll be only about 4% difference in terms of vote shares. Now, if they can, if you know, a big swing in favor of the Congress, even in some small pockets in that region, could mean a large number of seats for the party. Which is why I still think, you know, the verdict is out on that. But I think there are two kinds of consolidation. One, the Vokaligas in favor of the JDS, which is going to hurt the Congress in some small pockets of Vokaliga votes that it has, and the other consolidation that's going in favor of the Congress in that region.
Sanjay Jha of the Congress is also with us. Sanjay, to what extent do you believe you've been able to create the spectre of confusion or uncertainty in the minds of the voters of Karnataka that the BJP and the JDS are in alliance? We've seen the Prime Minister say a vote for the JDS is a wasted vote. We've seen Devagowda speak to Rajdeep. We've seen Kumaraswamy speaking to us saying there is no question of an alliance with the BJP. Has the doubt been sown deep?
You know, Rahul, I've been on your channel very often during the Karnataka, election campaign. Let me stick to what I think is the real truth. Now, whether you look at schemes like the Anna Bhagya, the Indira Canteen, the Shira Bhagya, the Rishi Bhagya, end of day, the government of Mr. Siddaramaiah and as a party, the Congress has campaigned pan-Karnataka with a broader
okay,
universal
so this is about
appeal.
7 swing factors.
Really
Please
going to be the
restrict your answer just to the question that I'm asking. Otherwise, this discussion will go all over the place. I want to put out now swing factor number 2. The second key swing factor, which I believe...
I will
just respond to my question,
point.
Sanjay.
Yeah.
Just on the issue of whether you've created enough doubt about a possible JDS-BJP alliance.
Yeah, I can tell you, well, I can tell you this for a fact that when we mentioned that there were secret rendezvous happening between Mr. Amit Shah and Mr. Kumaraswamy, we knew where we were coming from. I think the people of Karnataka are fully aware of not just a tacit alliance. I think by the end of the campaign it became explicit. And when Narendra Modi in his campaign speech openly talked about Mr. Gowda, I think the beans had been spilled in the public domain.
Okay, Nalin Kohli of the BJP is also joining us on this broadcast. Is there a concern that this talk of a possible BJP-JDS alliance could see a consolidation, especially of the non-Vokaliga Muslim vote in southern Karnataka towards the Congress, and does that work to the disadvantage of the BJP? Nalin, welcome.
Well, I mean, first of all, Mr. Kaval, let me point out, the Congress, as part of its usual strategy, will build a case on falsehood, then make that believe as if that is the real situation, and then ask the BJP to give an answer. Of course not. We are fighting this election alone. Yesterday, my president, the party president, Mr. Amit Shah, said, we are going in there to win 130 seats and we will get that result. So therefore, this whole ifs, buts, everything that the Congress hopes to create a mirage that that's why we are going to win, that only confirms the Congress is not even certain of winning. Okay. They require to create a false bogey around the BJP and the JDS and then say this is what is going to help us win. Why can't they say we are winning on our work? Because they don't have work. Okay. They probably have a problem with their governance, with what we are seeing in RR Nagar. They stand in a difficult spot, not us.
I take now swing factor number 2, the second key factor that I believe could determine who wins in Karnataka tomorrow. How much of the Lingayat vote bank will split because of the gambit that Siddaramaiah played, where he suggested that the Lingayats could be given the status of a separate religion? Now remember, this is about 14% of Karnataka's vote, dominant especially in North Karnataka. The Lingayats are known to influence results in 76 out of the 224 constituencies of the state. Some mutts have come out, a Mahasabha has come out even today and said that they should back, that the Lingayats should back the Congress because of what the Siddaramaiah government has said about giving them reservation as a minority. I want to go across Nalin Kohli on this first. A big ad coming out in local papers today. The Lingayat Mahasabha saying vote, suggesting pretty much vote Congress. Are you concerned that the Lingayat consolidation that you were hoping for is not really happening and at least a part of your Lingayat vote will switch to the Congress? Nalin.
I must say, Rahul, if I recall, I think you did a fairly detailed assessment of your takeaways with a rider that, of course, you were there only for 10 days. But in that, if I recall correctly, and do correct me if I'm wrong, that you had pointed out that this Lingayat factor doesn't seem to be going the Congress way.
This is
And
interesting.
that's
He's
exactly
quoting
what
back
we
our
feel.
own article.
That
You're
they
here
have
as
made
the
an
pundit.
attempt to
I
divide
get to ask the
society.
questions. You're throwing back my own article. But that's a fair point that Nalin makes. And even the CSDS latest survey, Sanjay Kumar suggests that there is actually a Lingayat consolidation in favor of the BJP. And the Veer Shaivas in particular are furious with Siddaramaiah for trying to split the Lingayat community and therefore hope to back the BJP. Is that correct?
Yeah, you are right, Rahul. This is like the Patidars in Gujarat. Everybody thought that Patidars are angry, they will vote against BJP, which didn't happen. Even in Karnataka, from our studies, which we clearly see that Lingayats are not in favor of Congress. Yes, there is a slight split in a sense. Congress is roughly going to get 22-25% of Lingayat vote. They used to get.
How much did they get earlier?
They used to get, this is roughly 5 or 7% more than what they got in the previous election. But BJP is sitting with roughly about 60-65% Lingayat vote, which is sizable.
So Rajdeep, the question is, has Siddaramaiah's gambit backfired or was it a tactical maneuver that was worth the effort?
Look, I think Siddaramaiah didn't expect an exodus from the BJP among the Lingayat community towards the Congress. I think traditionally, and this goes back now almost 20 years, the Lingayats had by and large stood by the BJP. 2013 may have been an exception because Yediyurappa was at that stage not within the BJP, but this has been the base. The 16% Lingayat vote has been the base of the BJP in Karnataka for 2 decades now. However, one must say this, that I think again, like with the Vocaligas, you need a plus vote. You know, you say 65% seats in Karnataka, the Lingayats will decide. They have a large share in those seats, yes. But without the plus vote, no party within. Who is that plus vote? To my mind, the real story, and I'm sure you'll come to that X factor, will be the Dalit backward class consolidation.
So we're coming to that.
And where that takes place will benefit. So if the BJP gets Lingayat plus, advantage BJP. Whether JDS gets Vocaliga plus, advantage JDS. Whether Congress gets Muslim Dalit backward class consolidation, advantage Congress. So it's a mirror cracked. And therefore, I think the Lingayat factor is sometimes overestimated. Yes, in Mumbai, Karnataka, I think it will be advantage to the BJP, but not to the extent that the BJP imagined when this poll started 2 months ago. I think there is a section of the Lingayats who are confused and they are farmers. Remember, at the end of the day, if I'm an agriculturist, in the urban areas, I think the Lingayats will strongly vote for the BJP. When you go to the rural areas where issues like Mahadai matter, let's say in the border districts with Goa, there you will find other local, you know, this election is far more localized than political parties would like us to believe. And that's why they are being forced to even have individual district and even constituency-wise manifestos this time, because I think the issues change so rapidly as you move from one region of Karnataka to the other.
But Sanjay Jha, has the Lingayat gambit then backfired? Because Siddaramaiah did this tactical maneuvering. All data, the latest opinion poll data suggests a massive consolidation of the Lingayats in favor of the BJP. A part of the Lingayat community determined to teach Siddaramaiah a lesson. They're dominant in the villages, they're dominant in their communities, and therefore they could also influence people on the side. So is this something that you see as a gamble that's gone wrong?
Not at all. I think it is a very legitimate demand of the Lingayat community, and didn't Yediyurappa back the claim? If today the BJP actually is in two minds, they should say so publicly. In fact, one of the factors that will definitely impact them when they come to vote is why is the BJP silent in terms of what the Congress party has recommended. So end of the day, we have done what was a very reasonable demand, a very legitimate demand. I think Mr. Siddaramaiah must be congratulated for taking the step. It's for the BJP to answer whether they back it or they don't.
Veera Raghav, is the Lingayat gambit going to give additional votes to the Congress tomorrow? To what extent will they get incremental votes? To what extent is this move backfiring?
2 points. It hasn't backfired because I think the intent was to send out a message that the BJP is not the only party which represents the Lingayats. The Congress wanted to make a quest for it. I don't think they were expecting a huge shift in terms of Lingayat votes. But I'm just giving you a bit of statistics. In 2008, and I'm not talking 2013 when the BJP was split, in 2008, and remember North Karnataka where the Lingayats are dominant are in two parts, Mumbai Karnataka and Hyderabad Karnataka. There are 40 seats in Hyderabad Karnataka, 50 in Mumbai Karnataka. In the Hyderabad Karnataka region, in 2008, the Congress won 35.5% vote with 15 seats. In the BJP won 35.8% vote and won 19 seats. This is a region where even a 2-3% change, and I think this region will determine who will eventually walk with the throne in Karnataka.
Okay.
What the Congress wants to do is to aim only at 2-3% increment. They are hoping for that. They are not expecting to replace the BJP as a Lingayat party. Siddaramaiah has firm Ahinda image for it. This is a gamble that they've taken. Whether it works or not, whether they're going to get that 2-3%, and apart from the Lingayats, what Rajdeep pointed out, the Dalit vote will determine the way Hyderabad, Karnataka goes. And that will determine whether this gamble was worth it or not.
Okay, so I now come to X factor number 3. This is the third most crucial factor which will decide which way the Lingayat vote, which way Karnataka will vote tomorrow. Rajdeep referred to it just for a moment. Question number 3. Will the Chief Minister's Ahinda formulation lead to a backward versus forward consolidation? Remember, Ahinda is a Kannada acronym for Dalits, Muslims, backwards, the social combination. This is the category of people who've benefited immensely from all the welfare schemes that the Siddaramaiah government has run. So is Veer Raghav, in your view, the Karnataka election becoming increasingly a backward versus forward election? And is that then advantage Congress if that happens?
No, I'm not sure it's becoming a backward versus forward election. I think it's become a caste election at some level in terms of the political narrative. But it's not become a backward versus forward. I don't know how you define backward versus forward. So I would be a little careful when classifying it as backward versus forward. I think it's become an election of castes in the absence of any tangible issue, because the BJP has not been able to project a strong face of change. Had they projected a strong face of change, I would have expected them to walk away with Karnataka, given that anti-incumbency is a big factor. The sheer fact that the BJP hasn't been able to promise any extraordinary change in terms of face of it, and the Congress is going with a tried and tested caste combination, it's become an election of the castes. And as Rajdeep pointed out, a mirror cracked.
In that caste, battle over castes, Rajdeep, who has, in your view, the bigger caste coalition in his favor?
Well, there is no doubt that the Congress has a wider social base. But again, I would say that even in this context, district by district, region by region, you will see different trends possibly emerging. Central Karnataka, where the BJP has never really done well, Chitradurga, Davangere, BJP will win seats because there's a lot of anger against the local MLAs there. But similarly, if you go into the in the Hyderabad, Karnataka area, where Dalits play an even greater role, the BJP has consciously, for example, weaned away some Dalits from Kharge. There is the Mayawati factor there, where Mayawati is being actively financially sponsored in some seats by the BJP, where the BJP could dent the Congress. On the other hand, there is every possibility that the Dalits in the old Mysore region are drifting away, both right and left Dalits. Both the Kannadigas, who were traditionally in recent times with the BJP, and the Holayas, who are more firmly with the Congress, both could consolidate in favor of the Congress. So you're going to see very different trends. It is a fractured. You travel around Karnataka, you get the sense, is there a consolidation of the backwards? Not really. The BJP has also benefited in some areas with the fact that they put up a lot of Madiga candidates. They've got the community, they promised the community the Sadashivam committee recommendations on reservation. So I think Karnataka, I repeat, is a mirror cracked. It is a fractured polity, and I think the Dalit vote consolidating wholeheartedly with the Congress, I have a question mark over it. If it does, if Ahinda works, Siddaramaiah will get 120 plus. He'll be Devraj's 2.0. Do what hasn't happened since the 1970s.
Are you concerned that this Ahinda formulation, which gives the Congress hypothetically 43 odd % votes right at the starting line, is that of concern, and what is your strategy to try and counter that?
Three things to say. Firstly, I don't know who, but someone earlier on the show pointed out that there is a huge anti-incumbency while talking about the BJP not presenting a fresh face. There is an anti-incumbency. And Karnataka's traditional voting has been for change. Why should it be separate this time? 3 years, when you take it on a caste basis, in that also, I think we have gone out and messaged completely that the Congress lip services certain communities and castes, and the BJP serves them. It's not lip service, it is actual service. Take the case of the Dalits, whether it is in terms of respect towards Baba Sahib Ambedkar, whether it's in terms of programs, entrepreneurship, those messagings continue from the party, and that's why the BJP has been also at a national level reaping the benefits of that in terms of the maximum number of representatives from such communities. So therefore, this is an assumption. We will know on the 15th what has worked, because in elections, the detail is what reveals the real story. We can at present make those hypotheses, but it's the detail. Like in 2004, everyone said India is shiny.
Consolidation in favor of the Congress. Is there an Ahinda consolidation for the Congress?
No, I would go along with what Rajdeep has already mentioned, that this is an election heading for a this is an election where caste is playing a very important role, and the larger coalition, Congress is holding the larger coalition. Muslims are with Congress, Dalits in a sizable number are with Congress, and a large section of OBC. It's not that the other OBC are en bloc with Congress, but they are split. But still, the advantage is for the Congress. So Congress is holding on with a bigger social coalition in terms of caste.
Manisha Prem, you've travelled through Karnataka. Is it, as the Congress would hope, a backward versus forward consolidation? Is that happening, or would that be too simplistic an assessment?
Backward versus forward or agada pichda ki rajniti is too simplistic an assessment. If in this election the Congress comes even first, let alone come to the majority mark, this is a rewriting of the script in which Indian elections have been fought for the last decade or so.
Why do you say that?
Because we are moving ahead of the OBC politics. Both the Vokkaligas and the Lingayats have been left infructuous. And this left hand Ahinda that you talk about is millions of fragmented small castes. Remember, when you talk about Kuruba here, my grounded understanding of the Kuruba is, yes, the Kuruba is the new dominant, but there is the Bet of the Kuruba, there's the Dodda Kuruba, and therefore there are a million risings. Which one of them will consolidate in favor of a new conglomeration? Remember, when the anti-Brahmin movement happened, it was someone as tall as Dr. Radhakrishnan who had been forced back from the University of Mysuru, and he found a place in the Indian nation, in the idea of India. Now, this is the rechurning of that. Both the Vokkaligas and the Lingayats, through various clever strategies, have been rendered infructuous as not being able to lead any party to victory.
The
millions will.
From North Indian politics,
the teeming millions will.
Is Nitish Kumar creating the MBCs in Bihar?
Yeah.
Where in similar circumstances, he broke away just from the Yadavs and said, let's create the most backward caste. And that was very few communities, but all of them taken together actually are the dominant force.
Rahul, as Rajdeep said, this is not election or not about one issue. At almost every constituency, parties have tried to pull out newer regions. Say, in some, the Congress men are failing anti-incumbency. In some, BJP men are facing anti-incumbency. When Rajdeep talks about the caste factor, there is a very interesting thing in Karnataka, that when a party does well in other parts of the state, it does very well in the reserved constituencies also. It is a strange swing. Say, for example, in 2008, the BJP had 27 seats out of the 51 reserved. It won Karnataka. In 2013, the Congress got 26. It won Karnataka. The BJP in 2013 lost the Lingayats. They were divided. So the Congress did better, and the Congress won even in the reserved constituencies. That means there is some kind of a synchronization between who's winning among the other larger dominant castes and the lower caste.
Okay.
Who has managed the trend better might decide.
Because also within the Ahinda, you've got to understand there are tribals.
Yeah.
There are about 5 to 6%. Now, very interestingly, yesterday in his press conference, Amit Shah made it clear that Sriramalu could be our deputy chief minister. Yes. Virtually sending out a signal to a part of Hyderabad, Karnataka in particular, that look, we also have faces from the so-called Ahinda, just as the chief minister was trying to break the Lingayats, the BJP has also consciously weaned away a section of the Dalits. If they, in UP, they weaned away non-Jatav Dalits. Here, they are consciously trying to wean away the non-Holaya Dalits away from, and they've been doing this for years, and they're hopeful of it.
No.
Okay. My only thing is that in the last month, and this is what the Congress is banking on, is that the Dalits the message has gone down that the BJP is not necessary to be trusted by the Dalits. Now, I don't know how successful that will be. The Congress has limited Madiga leaders. Madigas are 70% of the Dalit population. You have a Muniyappa in Kolar, but not too many other Dalit leaders of the Madiga community, even in the cabinet of Siddaramaiah. So, I don't think while Siddaramaiah is trying, if he succeeds, as I said, he's Devraj Arjun of the 1970s, where the Congress took the similar backward caste coalition even before, actually it came to North India, even before Nitish Kumar discovered it, and built, in a sense, a formidable force. I don't know whether it is as easy in 2018 as it was in the 1970s. The BJP offers a real challenge, I think, even to the Ahinda base.
So we've been able to go through 3 swing factors. We've got 4 more left, 4 more crucial X factors that will determine who wins Karnataka tomorrow. We've got a crack panel of very sharp minds who've travelled, not just sitting in the studios, actually been on the ground and seen what the pulse of the people is. You're watching in India Today, special broadcast vote in Karnataka. We are tracking 7 key swing factors that to our mind will determine who wins in Karnataka tomorrow. I play out now factor number 4. Remember, the BJP has been playing a very strong card in coastal Karnataka, trying to up the ante on killings of various BJP RSS activists. Some of the fact-checking by us suggests that not all of them died in communal killings, but that's the rhetoric that's been built through the likes of Yogi Adityanath and Anand Kumar Hegde. Is it working, and is it leading to a consolidation of Hindu voters in coastal Karnataka, and is that consolidation spreading beyond coastal Karnataka as well? So let me put that question first to Rajdeep. Rajdeep, to what extent are you seeing a Hindu consolidation in coastal Karnataka? This is what helped the BJP in Uttar Pradesh. You've come from coastal Karnataka. Is it working on the ground?
Look, again, again, you've got to look at it, I think, not just in region, but even sub-regional division. 19 seats on offer there. The Congress did very well there. They got 13 of the 19 last time. And you will find that seat by seat, because there are certain seats where the minorities can actually determine the election. So there are certain seats where the Congress will find that its hold over the Muslims will give it an edge in coastal Karnataka. There are other seats, particularly in Udupi and in Uttara Kannada, where the BJP may have an advantage. But there are also seats in Uttara Kannada where there are opponents of Anand Kumar Hegde who have come together. Anand Kumar Hegde is being accused in one case of propping up a Congress candidate because he was denied the BJP candidate of his choice. This is how Karnataka is being split. Even if you look at Mangalore city, out of the 3 seats in Mangalore, last time the Congress had won all 3. This time the general expectation is the Congress is likely to retain 2, the BJP is going to win 1. Because with demographic the delimitation that took place, there are certain constituencies in coastal Karnataka where the minorities play a disproportionate role. Now in Udupi, where Shobha Karandlaje is the MP. There you expect the BJP to do better in a few seats. But again, the Congress is not to be written off. This is a state where I don't expect any region to see a sweep. It's going to be a state where you will have maybe 19, last time was 13 to the Congress and just 3 to the BJP. This time the BJP may rise from 3 to 9, but the Congress from 13 will go to 7 or 8. I don't see any region where a sweep is predicted or a consolidation of Hindutva forces will ensure that kind of sweep.
Are you seeing, Sanjay Kumar, in your data, Hindutva consolidation of the kind that we saw in Uttar Pradesh?
No.
Why not?
Absolutely not.
Why
That's
not?
not happening, because in Karnataka, I think the election is headed for a caste-based polarization. This is like Bihar, what happened in Bihar. So voters are sharply divided on caste line, and that is why JDS is doing so well in the southern Karnataka, because Vokaligas are standing solidly behind their leaders. So that's why Hindu consolidation is not taking place in Karnataka.
In the coastal Karnataka region, don't write off the Ahindas, the scheduled tribes, especially in these areas. So if these Chitput communities, the Ati Pichda, what were called the Panchporna in Bihar, if they consolidate, the Congress is not to be written off. Last time the Congress did well because B. Sriramulu and Yediyurappa were not with the party. But this time around, Mr. Siddaramaiah does have a social base. The Nayaka community, for example, belonging to the scheduled tribe, understands that it is a scheduled tribe and very clearly in favor of the Congress. So one doesn't know, there is a new social base.
Raghav, how much of a communal consolidation are you witnessing in coastal Karnataka? Is there a ripple effect in some parts of Bombay, Karnataka as well?
I'm just going to go by data again. 2008, BJP had 41.25% vote in coastal Karnataka. In 2004, they had 41.64%. Look, if there is going to be a sweep region for the BJP, and I'm not just talking coastal, I'm including Malnad as well, which includes the districts of Shimoga, Chikmagalur and Kodagu districts. If you take coastal and Malnad together, I may disagree with what's said that, you might see a sweep in that region, because this is one region where the BJP has its ideological base. It did lose out when Yediyurappa went out, but it hopes to retain that 41% vote share, with which it was coming back with 21 and 26 seats in 2008 and 2004. You might see a situation there very similar to the BJP as far as coastal and Malnad region goes. Mumbai, Karnataka, coastal, Malnad. These are three regions where the BJP, you can expect them to do very well.
You speak to anybody in the BJP, they say coastal Karnataka, Bombay Karnataka, we've got in our pocket. They say our strategy, not just about polarization and consolidation, has succeeded. We will sweep this belt.
Rahul, what the BJP says that it has done traditionally well. There is a polarization. As Rajdeep said, there is a certain segment which does vote for the BJP, which adds to the Hindutva plus agenda. What the BJP says that this time around, it did not need to go out and create that kind of atmosphere. It did talk about the PFI, Jinnah did come in, and a lot of these elements were woven in. They said that this time around, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's presence does add to their campaign in this region a newer element, that they don't have to really polarize, but they present somebody like Prime Minister Narendra Modi. They are confident, as
this is also why Yogi Adityanath has been campaigning the most.
They are campaigning the most. They are saying that this time around they have people who represent Hindutva than issues. And as Veeraraghavan said, this is where they think this is going to be the real catchment area.
Because, since the BJP's growth in the 1990s, they've grown in these two areas, Mumbai, Karnataka and coastal Karnataka. And they grew in the 90s on communal polarization. But in the last 15 years, it's very interesting. Every 5 years, the party in power has lost out in coastal Karnataka. So when the Congress was in power, when it came in 2008, for example, it's the BJP which swept coastal Karnataka. 5 years before that, it was vice versa. 2013, the Congress did very well in coastal Karnataka. So Karnataka doesn't show a consistent trend over a period of time. The BJP is banking on these areas because there are 50 to 60 seats where the BJP is not in the race. If the BJP has to get a majority, they have to sweep coastal Karnataka.
Okay.
They have to sweep Mumbai, Karnataka and make major gains, I believe, in Hyderabad, Karnataka and in central Karnataka.
I take now X factor number 5. Will the popularity of some of the welfare schemes launched by Chief Minister Siddaramaiah be a swing factor in this election? Remember, he's got the Annabhagya, which involves giving 7 kilos of rice to every person. In Karnataka, there are apparently 4 crore beneficiaries in the state of Karnataka just through Annabhagya, Shirabhagya, which involves giving free milk to school children. Then there are various other Bhagya schemes that cover the entire spectrum: healthcare, shoes, textbooks, milk, housing, bicycles, laptop, cattle, cooking gas. Then you've got the Indira canteens, modelled on the Amma canteens of Tamil Nadu. They're in Bangalore, they're across district headquarters. Manisha Priyam, to what extent will all these welfare schemes be a swing factor?
The welfare schemes have been working well, and I had in the past visited even the Hyderabad, Karnataka regions, and outside of district administration and block offices, the one difference that you could see from many parts of North India is very few grievances. Women especially are not complaining that because of lack of identity cards we haven't got this. So whatever way he is administered is, at the node, at the point of distribution of welfare schemes, there is very little anti-incumbency against Mr. Siddaramaiah. So there is some evidence definitely of grievances being that much less.
And Rajdeep, you tasted some of the food of this Annabhagya?
I tasted some of it
you went to an Indira canteen?
To an Indira canteen, very wholesome, but I went to Hubli, Dharwad, lot of complaints about the quality of the rice. But very interesting, there's an ad in the Kannada channels where there's this woman who's very happy with the rice that she's got. And she says, who do I give credit to? And her husband says, oh, this rice is coming from Narendra Modi. It is not Siddaramaiah. The rice is coming from the center. So you see, nobody is criticizing Annabhagya.
Where did it come from? Siddaramaiah or Modi?
No. The fact is that the center does partially sponsor the scheme, because eventually you get your revenues from the center. My point is, if Siddaramaiah wins, he should not give credit to Basavana. The credit should go to Jayalalitha and NTR and MGR, who realize that cheap food can win you votes.
And in that
Rahul, I just wanted to add
that
from our survey, it is very clear that Annabhagya scheme, when we asked this question, 80% of the voters in Karnataka said their family has benefited from this scheme.
80% of the voters.
Who did they give the benefit to? Center or state?
We don't know. We don't know whether
the state.
they
It's
think
the
that it
detail
is
in the
the
implementation.
center or the state. but the scheme is really popular and 80% people saying they or someone in the family has benefited. It's a huge number.
In fact, what this person told me that we made, Siddharamaia's one close aide said, we made the mistake that whenever we give these packets of Anna Bhai, we should have put the Chief Minister's photograph on it, like Jayalalitha used to do. So take the full credit. Here, that was not done. So now the advertisement campaign of the BJP is, don't give all the credit to Siddharamaiah. The money
in that
is
sense,
coming from the center.
Sanjay Jha, this is from the MGR Jayalalitha playbook, from the NTR playbook as well. The second fact is that a part of the credit should really, in all fairness, be given to the Prime Minister and to the BJP government at the center that are giving you the base funds. You're topping up, but to make it seem as if all these Bhagya schemes are being, and all the other Bhagya schemes are being funded by the Karnataka government is not correct.
Well, you know, Rahul, the truth is that's exactly what I started with at the very beginning. The reason why we're going to win Karnataka is because of performance matching promise. You know, the fact that we fulfilled almost 90% plus of our election manifesto that we gave in 2013 is proof that we walk the talk. I mean, end of day, you talked about whether we should have done more publicity or promotion, but think about the fact that welfare distribution of subsidies or any such expenditure is usually a huge challenge for any government. Now, we have executed that brilliantly. The administration of subsidy has been done with a great deal of clarity and thought, and therefore the delivery has reached the targeted segment. I think this is not just about electoral dividend, it's about what you promise when you take charge in government. So end of day, I think the bottom line is that we have delivered, and we are definitely going to get the support from the people of Karnataka.
So my producers tell me we are running out of time, so I quickly need to zip through swing factor number 6 and 7. Let's take swing factor number 6 coming up on your screen now. How much will the tactical understanding between the BJP and the JDS damage the Congress's prospects? Remember, it's abundantly clear that especially in Old Mysore, the BJP and the JDS have fought this election with some kind of a tactical understanding, mostly covert, but there is an understanding on the ground. The Gowdas publicly deny that there is any secret pact. The BJP JDS did form a government in 2006 together. This is also the area where the BJP is weak. You know, you're almost, whether anyone agrees or not, Rahul, the BJP and the JDS are fighting this election together, especially in Old Mysore, which basically means that all that the BJP think tank is trying to do is deny Congress the opportunity to come close to a majority.
See, Rahul, last time around, how many seats did Congress get? It got the largest number of seats 25. In this region. So if the Congress loses out big here and JDS does much better, this is the region where Congress can be denied more chances of winning because it's got a strong leader like Deve Gowda, a strong, powerful majority community which backs him. And if he gets the plus votes, the Congress can be undone here. Last time around, Deve Gowda had won 1 seat less. If JDS does get from the Congress by, say, 10 to 12 seats in these regions, Congress will suffer a major setback. And that's where a tacit understanding. The BJP does not want to spoil the apple cart because the minority members will start saying that JDS is tying up with the BJP.
Does the tacit understanding hurt the Congress?
Does the tacit understanding between the BJP
and the JDS?
No. If people begin to understand that the BJP and the JDS are in alliance, the votes won't go to the JDS. Which votes are going to the JDS? Those votes that belong to the Congress. So in a sense, yeah, they'll shift back to the Congress. Okay. So the only caste left high and dry will be the Vocaligas, and the Vocaligas can vote Mr. Deve Gowda.
And even in 2013 election, it was the Congress which won more seats than JDS.
I wanted to say something more. Remember, if from this region there was Poet Laureate Kuvempu, who was a Vocaliga. Today there is a Devanur Mahadev. Today there is a Bhairappa. Today there is a Sid Langaiah. A Sid Langaiah who's been an MLC, Dalit poet, MLC from the Congress party twice over. Amit Shah stands at his doorstep and says, even if you're not with us, let me come and meet you. So I think these are the factors that is very important, and the Dalit card will play a very important role in the Mysore region.
Okay, but Vishal, that's where the point comes in. The Congress won 40. If the JDS is helped from behind the scenes, definitely.
Okay, final swing factor, factor number 7, the Reddy brothers from Bellary. They hold sway over 3 districts. Very clearly in Bellary, Devangiri and Chitradurga, they're strong on the ground. Sriram Mulu is seen as a very formidable tribal leader, possibly being projected as a deputy chief minister if there is a BSY government coming post the 15th of May. They've tainted they've hurt the BJP's anti-corruption plank, but can they help in these 3 districts of Karnataka? One of the reasons Raghav, the BJP did so badly in 2013 was because of the votes the BSR Congress took away. With them coming back, do you believe corruption is just a side issue and they will help at least on these 22 seats?
Corruption has never come in the way of electoral understandings when it comes to the arithmetic in terms of votes, and that's been the case across the board. The problem is that this time corruption is not one. There is not one particular focus on corruption, like one major issue, which has turned it into a major electoral issue in these elections. Yes, Sri Ramalu and the Reddy brothers returning to the BJP is something that will bolster them in Hyderabad, Karnataka, where the party does not have an ideological base or a very strong base apart from the fact that it has the Reddy brothers and Sri Ramalu, which is where the Congress believes it can counter. If you look at the 2013 elections in Hyderabad, Karnataka, you will see that the BJP won just 17% vote. Others got about 26% vote, largely of which was BSR YCP. You look at 2008, as I pointed out, 35.5% for Congress and 35.8% for the BJP, with which they won 19 seats. The Congress hopes to sweep this region with an incremental vote. They believe that the BJP and Sri Ramalu are not as strong as they were in 2008. And if the Congress sweeps this region and holds its own in Old Mysore region, it might find its way past the 100 mark. So this election, just a very quick point, you might not have one large sweep, but you might have mini sweeps in regions. You might have the BJP doing well in one region and the Congress doing well in another region. The X factor would eventually remain on whether the Congress can defeat the JDS fair and square in the Old Mysore region.
Final words, Rajdeep. It essentially means that all this talk about corruption, about taint, is essentially an issue for television pundits. It doesn't matter on the ground. That's pathetic.
No, I saw that in your 10 takeaways, and you're absolutely right that corruption is a great equalizer in Karnataka. Look at the kind of candidates even in Bengaluru that you have. Many of them are, linked to various real estate scams or real estate mafias. But I think the larger question is you are seeing a possible income divide in Karnataka. As you go further away from the city, as you go to smaller households, as you meet people who are poorer, you sense that, the whole idea of a Modi wave or issues of corruption, Nirav Modi, Rafael, you think it matters deep in rural Karnataka. I think what is very clear is Siddaramaiah has been successfully able to counter the 5-year anti-incumbency jinx, and Narendra Modi is also a popular leader. And I believe that if this was a Lok Sabha poll, it would be advantage to Narendra Modi. If it's a Vidhan Sabha poll, my sense is, and I could be horribly wrong on the 15th, is that Siddaramaiah has the advantage of being the incumbent who the poorer people are able to identify with. If there is any pan-Karnataka narrative, it is the rich-poor divide that I see in the state. The poor feel that the various Bhagya schemes have benefited them. The rich and the middle class will be cynical about corruption and other issues, will probably not go and vote, will take the weekend off and go up to
in fact, our reporter
is close to Bangalore.
Our reporter Nagarjun just filed a story saying that the streets of Bengaluru are already seeing a lot less traffic than usual, because a lot of people could have taken off because this is a long weekend. And that
it's a nota election for them.
Really,
for
really
Bengaluru, it's not, none of
Come on, Bengaluru. Given how much they claim, they should go out and vote.
I was at a dinner yesterday where everyone said, look at our options. Why should we be voting?
Oh, come on. I don't agree with that at all. Given how much everyone in Bengaluru and elsewhere has been cribbing about setting the civic order in proper order, they really ought to go out and vote. The kind of people that I have on this panel, we can talk about elections till the morning. So we have to end this here. Thank you very much to all our guests for joining us on what's been a very interesting discussion on the 7 swing factors. We'll be here 7 a.m. onwards tomorrow morning, and then 6 p.m. onwards we bring you the big India Today, Access My India exit poll. So do tune in to our continuing coverage of the war in Karnataka. Thank you very much for tuning in for the moment. News and updates continue on the other side. Stay with us.